There's a cup still warm on your windowsill, and the snow keeps falling like it always will. I watch you reading from across the street. La-da-da, la-da-da. Your laugh carries through the morning air. I know the way you twist a strand of hair when you're thinking of someone you'll never tell. Almost said your name today, almost knocked upon your door, almost found the words to say what I've been keeping hidden for. La-da-da, la-da-da, so long. I write letters that I'll never send, draw circles in the frost upon my window, wonder if you see me standing here. Almost said your name today, almost knocked upon your door, almost found the words to say what I've been keeping hidden for. La-da-da-da, la-da-da, so long. If I could be the winter coat you wear, book you hold so close against your chest, the quiet song you hum when no one's there, maybe then I'd tell you all the rest. La-da-da, la-da-da. Spring will come and melt the snow away. You pack your things and find another place, but I'll remember how you look today. Almost said your name, almost, almost, la-da-da, la-da-da. Almost. Empty cup, still warm. La la la. Morning light through glass. These quiet hours don't make sense, oh, without you here. La la. Sitting by my window watching winter take its time. Calendar pages curl like autumn leaves I left behind. Somehow silence speaks in languages I never learned. Sometimes distance draws you closer than you'd ever yearned. Can you feel the falling snow and soul tonight? Covering the streets we used to share. While I'm wrapped in borrowed blankets burning bright, missing moments we will never wear. Coffee cups and morning light, the way you said my name. Counting constellations while we caught the midnight train. Now I'm learning how to love someone whose world's away. Building bridges out of breath and things I'll never say. Can you feel the falling snow and soul tonight? Covering the streets we used to share. While I'm wrapped in borrowed blankets burning bright, missing moments we will never wear. Sometimes I pretend you're painting pictures in the frost. Sometimes I believe that what we had was never lost. Sending silent signals through the space between our hearts, hoping that our separate lives don't drift too far apart. 눈이 내려와 창문 너머로 네가 보고 싶어. 내가 보고 싶어. 멀리 있어도 falling snow and soul tonight, covering the streets we used to share. While I'm wrapped in borrowed blankets burning bright, missing moments dancing in the air. Maybe morning brings the melting, maybe spring will come. Maybe loving from a distance is enough for some. You said you felt something true, but didn't know what to do. You held my hand and pulled away, and I still begged myself to stay. You said I care, just not right now, and I believed I don't know how. I built a home on shifting ground, hoping one day you'd come around. You weren't ready, and I kept waiting anyway. I gave you time, I gave you grace, I let my heart get erased. You didn't lie, you didn't cheat, but you still made me feel incomplete. You never left, but didn't stay. You weren't ready, and I waited anyway. space, but I called it lack. And now I won't keep looking back. You weren't ready, and that's okay. But I can't lose more time this way. I need a love that doesn't pause, that doesn't need a million becauses. You didn't need to make me break, but now I leave for my own sake. You weren't cruel, but you did delay. You weren't ready, and I can't stay. I smiled at the right time, held back when it crossed the line, said I'm fine when I was breaking, stayed small when my heart was shaking. I gave you comfort, gave you calm, I tucked my truth beneath my palm. I tried to be the kind of light that doesn't burn, that feels just right. I was loving you, but I was performing too. I was shaping every part of me to fit inside what pleased you smoothly. I gave affection wrapped in fear. I held my breath so you'd stay near. But love that cost me being true is not a love I want to do. You never asked me to pretend, but I felt I had to in the end, to stay easy, to stay sweet, to not come off too deep, too weak. I want a love where I can breathe, not one where I must quietly leave pieces of me at the door, to be enough, to be adored. I was loving you in costume threads, in quiet nods and careful steps. But love, real love, won't make you choose between your joy and being used. So now I bow out from the stage and turn this silence into grace. I want a love I don't perform through. I was loving you, but I was fading too. You love the way I showed up whole, the way I read between your soul. You love the way I always knew what hurt you long before you knew. person you never got close to. You love the healing in my hands, but not the heart that made those plans. You wanted light, not the flame. You wanted love without a name. You love the mirror, not the view. You love the way I loved you. I kept believing love was this, to give, to bend, to never miss. But love that only comes to take will always leave you half awake. I'm not your pause, I'm not your peace. If loving me can't bring you ease, then go where love stays incomplete. But don't come back just for repeat. You love the way I gave you grace, but never really saw my face. You took the warmth, ignored the wound. You love my light, but not my moon. But I'm not staying where I'm seen. It's just a way to feel serene. You didn't love me truthfully. You just loved the way I loved so endlessly. It wasn't loud, it wasn't sharp. No doors were slammed, no broken parts. But little things began to slip, and love grew quiet, lost its grip. You didn't say you'd walk away. You just stopped calling every day. You smiled less, then looked right through. And slowly I stopped reaching too. We didn't break, you just stopped showing up. You let the silence fill us up. You didn't fight, you didn't stay. You just got used to drifting gray. I begged in silence, not in screams. But love dissolved between the seams. There wasn't war, there wasn't bluff. We didn't break, you just gave up. I told myself it's just a phase, that maybe time could still amaze. But time can't fix what's not pursued, and you just stopped choosing me too.
No final word, no last regret. Just love that slowly would forget. That effort is what makes it grow, and yours just faded long ago.
We didn't crash, or burn, or cry. You didn't leave, you just passed by. I stayed and waited for the spark, while you went quiet in the dark. And now I see what I ignored. You didn't care You didn't leave, you just passed by.
I stayed and waited for the spark while you went quiet in the dark. And now I see what I ignored. You didn't care to fight for more. You didn't break us with bad luck. You just stopped showing up, and that was enough.
I used to tie my worth to days where I was useful, strong, and brave. I wore exhaustion like a crown, afraid to ever let it down. I kept on going through the ache, as if my breath was mine to fake. I thought that stopping meant I failed, so I kept walking while I ailed. But I don't need to deserve rest anymore. But I don't need to earn the floor to lie down when my soul feels thin, to let the stillness let me in. It's not a prize, it's not a debt, it's not a rule I have to set. I'm not a race, I'm not a score. I don't need to deserve rest anymore. Some days I just get through the start with sleepy limbs and heavy heart, and that's enough, I've learned to say, without apology or delay. I don't need to prove I'm tough to be allowed to have enough. Sometimes the bravest thing I do is give the softness back to me too. I don't need to deserve rest anymore. Not keeping count, not keeping score. I'll close my eyes when I feel low. I'll let the healing gently grow. And if they ask why I'm not strong, I'll say I've been all along. But even strength was sometimes snore. And I don't need to deserve rest anymore. There's a house I never called my own, with windows wide and garden grown. There's a name I never got version of me in some small town, smiling slower, settling down. She doesn't know the pain I've faced, but maybe she has different grace. This is for the life I didn't live, the hands I didn't hold, the love I couldn't give, the mornings I will never see, the songs that weren't sung by me. It's not regret, it's not a cry, just a soft hello and slow goodbye to every dream I had to outlive, to the life I didn't live. There's peace in roads I'll never walk, in silent rooms we never talked. Somewhere out there another me is learning how to just be free. I don't resent the path I chose, but still I feel those distant ghosts. They're part of me, they always stay. In quiet hearts they softly play. This is for the life I didn't live, the doors I closed, the tears I give, to empty chairs and quiet names, to half-built hopes and gentle flames. I'm here, I'm real, I'm living this, but I still hold the ones I miss. With love so soft, it still forgives the life I dreamed but didn't live. I don't need to be rewritten. I don't need a brighter version of me. I've spent years trying to be lighter, but some things aren't meant to leave. I've sat with silence longer than I've sat with love, and I'm tired of being seen as someone waiting to be fixed, when all I've wanted was to be accepted as I am. Some days I carry sadness, not because I want to, but because it's lived with me long enough to feel like home. And maybe peace doesn't mean joy. Maybe peace is knowing I don't have to explain what hurts, to be allowed to feel it. I'm not looking for a cure, I'm not searching for a solution, I'm just learning I'd be farther, thought I'd be clearer, thought the pain would have passed by the time I reached this year. I pictured a version of me who smiled with both hands open, who moved without fear, who didn't flinch when someone asked how she was doing. I imagined a future where I felt proud, not confused, where my heart wasn't still sorting through everything I never got to say. I thought I'd have answers, some kind of peace, maybe a place that felt more like home than a question mark. I thought I'd be glowing, healed, whole, not here, still wondering why joy feels so far away. And I miss her, the version I imagined, the one who always knew what she wanted, the one who wasn't tired just for waking up. I miss believing that time meant progress, that age meant clarity, that pain would always have purpose. But here I am, not that version, not her, just me, just soft and unsure, and learning to love the quiet between answers. I'm not who I thought I'd be, but maybe that's okay. Maybe growth isn't a straight line. Maybe grief is part of becoming. I've built peace from pieces I didn't know I'd have to hold. I've stayed kind in silence. I've survived without recognition. And maybe that's more than I give myself credit for. So tonight I miss her, but I don't hate me. I'm still here, and maybe that matters more than anything I thought I'd be. I spent so many years thinking I had to work harder to be loved, that I had to prove I was worthy, that I had to be more to feel accepted. But now I know I am loved just as I am. I don't need to do anything to be seen, to be valued, to be cared for. I don't need to fill every moment with tasks, with noise, with action. to rest without guilt, without wondering if I'm falling behind. I'm allowed to pause without feeling like I'm missing out. I can simply be, and that is enough. I don't have to earn love. I don't need to change to be accepted. I don't need to be anything but myself to feel love just as I am. To be soft without feeling like I'm weak. I'm allowed to take my time without rushing, without apologizing for needing space to be me. I don't need to prove I'm enough by being louder, by being faster, by being someone else. I can be quiet and still be loved just as I am. I am loved even when I'm not doing anything, even when I'm still, even when I'm uncertain. I am loved just for being here, just for breathing. I'm tired of reaching for people who don't reach back. Tired of stretching myself so far out of shape just to fit into conversations where my silence was the only thing welcome. I've bent my voice to sound softer than I felt. I've lowered my knees to be easier to hold. I've said I'm okay more times than I've been, but tonight I don't wanna chase closeness. I don't wanna earn love. I don't wanna prove that I deserve to stay. I wanna sit with what's left of me and let it be enough. I wanna stop apologizing for taking up the space that I already live. I'm not reaching anymore, not because I've given up, but because I've come back to my own hands and they were always enough. I've bent my voice to sound softer than I felt. I've lowered my knees to be easier to hold. I've said I'm okay more times than I've been, but tonight I don't wanna chase closeness. I don't wanna earn love.
I've given up, but because I've come back to my own hands and they were always enough. I'm not reaching anymore, not because I've given up, but because I've come back to my own hands and they were always enough. I'm tired of reaching for people who don't reach back. Tired of stretching myself so far out of shape just to fit into conversations where my silence was the only thing welcome. I've bent my voice to sound softer than I felt. I've lowered my needs to be easier to hold. I've said I'm okay more times than I've been, but tonight I don't wanna chase closeness. I don't wanna earn love. I don't wanna prove that I deserve to stay. I wanna sit with what's left of me and let it be enough. I wanna stop apologizing for taking up the space that I already live in. I'm not reaching anymore, not because I've given up, but because I've come back to my own hands and they were always enough. I'm not reaching anymore, not because I've given up, but because I've come back to my own hands and they were always enough. And let it be enough. I wanna stop apologizing for taking up the space that I already live in. I wore the smile they wanted most. I filled the lines, I played the role. I bent and folded, tried to please, but lost the heart beneath the need. I chased the right, I feared the wrong. I stayed too quiet, stayed too long. But now I see behind the glass
true.
I speak in tones that feel like mine. I write in words I used to hide. I say I don't when that's my truth. I build my life from softer roots.
I'm not the plan they used to write. I'm not their praise, I'm not their fight. I am the choice I wasn't shown, becoming who I call my own.
I'm letting go with quiet pride of every part I lived to hide.
I won't apologize for change.
I won't stay small to look the same. The girl I am was always near. Now she's the one I hold most dear.
I didn't always choose who I became. Some of it was shaped by silence, some of it was built inside moments. I didn't feel safe, so I learned how to disappear without leaving, how to stay quiet in rooms that didn't listen anyway. I became careful with every word, with every move. Measured my presence like it could cost me something if I took up too much. I became agreeable even when it hurt, because saying no never felt like an option. I said yes just to be safe, even when I didn't mean it. I smiled when I wanted to scream, softened when I wanted to break, and kept apologizing for being too much and not enough at the same time. I became who they needed because I didn't know that I was allowed to be who I was. I kept peace even if it meant losing mine. I stayed even when my body begged me to run. But now I look back and I don't feel shame anymore. I feel tenderness for the version of me who did what she had to do to survive. She wasn't weak, she was adapting. She wasn't broken, she was protecting. She wasn't lost, she was learning how to live in a world that didn't always make space for soft places that were made without feeling like there were other choices. I forgive what I had to become, and I thank her for keeping me alive. I used to swallow every ache and hide the tremble when I'd shake. I told myself it wasn't time to give my sadness any lines, but holding in what wanted light only made the silence bite. Some feelings don't just fade away, they wait for words you couldn't say. Some feelings deserve words too, not just strength in quiet rooms. They need a voice, a place to land, a softer ear, a steady hand. Not every tear should go unseen. Some truths are meant to leave the screen. I don't need perfect ways to speak, just honesty when I feel weak. A simple phrase, a tender breath can pull me back from feeling less. So if I shake or pause or cry, just know it's me, not asking why. I'm finally giving pain a name so it can rise without the shame. Some feelings aren't too much, they're just waiting to be touched. I'm not too deep, I'm not too loud, I'm just no longer hiding now. I let my heart say what is true, because these feelings have earned words too. I could have built my walls in stone, I could have turned my heart to bone, I could have let the breaking win, but I chose love to live within. I could have matched the hurt with ice,
Closed every door and paid the price. But even when the storm stayed long, I chose to heal, I chose to song.
My heart stayed soft even after the fall, even when silence answered my calls, even when promises broke in my hands, even when love didn't go as planned. I didn't harden, I didn't close, I stayed the garden through the snow. I carried wounds that no one saw, I mended cracks with threads of awe. I turned the pain into a prayer that love would find me standing there. It's easy to turn hurt to hate, it's harder still to stay awake, to feel it all and still believe that kindness always plants the seed. My heart stayed soft through every goodbye, through every empty, aching sky, through every door that never swung, through every song left unsung. I didn't build my life in stone, I kept my heart a living home. I used to race against the door, begging your feet to hit the floor. I thought if I could hold you tight, you'd see the reasons to stay right. I stitched excuses into thread, explain the storms inside your head. I gave you maps back to my heart while you were tearing us apart. But I won't chase anyone who wants to leave. If goodbye's what you believe, I'll hold the door, I'll let it swing. I won't tie myself to wings. If love was here, it wouldn't flee. I won't chase who won't choose me. I used to think the louder cries would build a bridge across your skies. But broken hearts aren't puzzles missed, they're warnings not to fix with fist.
If you can't see what stays and stands, if love slips easy from your hands, I won't be the one who begs, I won't be the one who breaks.
I won't chase or beg or plead. If you need distance, take the lead. I'll stay behind with open skies, with love too full to shrink or die. You're free to go, you're free to be. I won't chase I'm still here, still soft. We moved on without pause, like I was just a moment lost. But even if they never look back, I'm still whole with what I lack. I break quietly, like petals fall into the sea, and no one saw when I let go, but I still bloomed in silent snow. I'm still here, still soft, still breathing, though I got lost. I never shouted, never screamed, but I still held on to quiet dreams. I used to ask, what's wrong with me? Why don't they stay? Why don't they see? But now I know they weren't meant to hold a heart that never bent. I'm still here, still soft, not bitter, just a little tossed. I carry I've belonged to expectations, to silence, to pressure, to rooms that ask me to be less, to people who loved the parts of me I didn't want to keep. I've belonged to survival, to structure, to stories that were never mine. I twisted myself into what they needed and called it love. But now I'm unlearning every version of me that existed to stay accepted, every smile that cost too much, every yes that sounded like self-abandonment. I'm calling back the pieces I left in places that never asked how I was, just what I could give, what I could carry, what I couldn't quiet. I'm no longer chasing spaces that make me prove I'm worthy of being held. No longer reshaping my softness to fit inside someone else's outline of strength. I want to belong to my own breath again, to my stillness, to the sound of my name when it's said with gentleness by the voice inside me, not the voices outside. I want to belong to this moment, not the next version of me, not the someday when I'm better, but here now.
aspiring to be valuable. Don't need to be healing fast to be growing. Don't need to be bright to be real. I just need to feel safe in my own body, my own voice, my own softness again. And today that starts by choosing to belong to myself more than I belong to anything else. So if I move slow, if I